In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the parking brake shoes on this Mercedes E350. Let's get into it. We're going to remove the wheel using a 17mm socket. Take the lug bolts out. Once we go to take the last one out, I'm just going to hold the wheel on so it doesn't fall. Just grab the wheel and slide it off. Remove this clip. I'm just going to use a pry bar and just some pliers. Just slide this up. Pull this out with the pliers. Just like that. Using some needle nose pliers, we'll disconnect the sensor right here. Just grab that. Slide that out. We'll just grab the sensor, just using the needle nose pliers. Slide that out, just like that. Using an E10 socket, we're going to take this bolt out right here. This is for the bracket for that speed sensor, or the brake pad sensor. Take that out, and then you can set that wire aside. We're going to remove the brake caliper bolts. We're going to use a T40 socket. There may be a cap on here. This vehicle doesn't have the caps. You might have to pop those out. And loosen up the top one as well. Set out. Grab the brake caliper, slide that off. You can take the inboard pad, slide it out, take that off. Using a brake caliper hanger, just going to hang this from the upper control arm in the back. Just make sure there's no tension on the brake hose. Take this pad off. I'm just using a pry bar because this one's stuck on there pretty good, but it should just slide off. We want to remove the caliper bracket bolts. Use an 18mm socket. Take those off. For the top one, I'm going to use an 18mm wrench because it's a little tight in there. That bolt out, slide the bracket right off. We're going to take this screw out, use a T30 socket. Take that out and grab the rotor. If it's still tight on there, you want to take a hammer and just hit in these locations and slide it right off. We're going to take these springs out. There's one on here and one underneath. I'm using some flatter needle nose pliers, but even some regular needle nose would probably work. Just squeeze the top part of the spring. I'm going to push in a little bit, just rotate. There's a hook on the other end, and you're just trying to get the hook out. Might have to rotate it a couple times. There we go. That's the hook. So if you just push in, get that hook out. Get the bottom one out the same way. Just push in. Just try twisting it a little. There we go. And it popped out. Using 2 pry bars, I'm just going to pry here and here. Just pull this adjuster out. Just like that. Then you can take this spring out nice and easy. Oh, it just fell. You can see on the other side, there's still a spring attached. We'll just use a pry bar. Just get this past. Like that. We can slide the shoe off, slide the spring off, and the other shoe. I'm just going to clean up some of the contact points with a wire brush. Spray it down with some brake parts cleaner. That's good. I'm just going to take a little silicone and just put it on the locations where the brake shoes are going to slide up against. That's good. I'm going to put this on the same way it came off. Take this spring, slide that in position. That lined up right there. Attach the other shoe. And just pry it down. If you need to, you can use a pry bar. Just be careful. Don't pinch your fingers. Just pry this down. Get that bracket lined up. There we go. Bracket's in. It's in the right spot. Take the spring, slide that in position. Then we're going to spread these shoes. Just using pry bars. Take the adjuster, line that up. Just be careful. You don't want to get your fingers pinched. Get that lined up in the adjuster right there. There we go, that's in. Now take these springs, slide this in place. And just push it in. Get that lined up. Give it a little twist. Do the same on the bottom one. There we go, push that in, give it a twist. Make sure it locks in place, that's good. Taking a wire brush, I'm going to clean up the hub surface. Take a thin coat of anti-seize. Just coat around the center of the hub. And get the rest of it. Just don't put it on the threads. Just try to avoid that. Looks good. Now take the rotors. If you have to make an adjustment, you can adjust the adjuster right here. Just turn it one way or another to tighten it up or loosen it. For the parking brake shoes, slide it on. You just want it barely touching. We can tighten those a little more. That should be good there. Take the screw, get that started. Take the bracket, slide it over the rotor. Take the bolts, get those started. Tighten those down. And we'll torque these down to 85 foot-pounds. All right, now grab the caliper. Take this hanger off. We can pop these slide pins out. You want to clean those off. Just put this over here for now. And just take a little brake parts cleaner, clean this off. There's a little bit of corrosion right there. Just take a wire brush, just clean that up a little bit. That looks good. Take a little bit of silicone, just wipe it on. And then in the hole where it goes, you can just take a little silicone, put that in there. just so it slides good. Slide it back in, just like that. Make sure it moves good, and do the same on the other one. There we go. That's good. Good. Just slide good. We're going to compress the piston. Just use a caliper compressing tool. I'm just going to use one of the old brake pads on the inside. And slowly compress this. Go nice and slow. This is going to push the fluid through the lines, through the hoses, back up into the master cylinder reservoir. That's all the way down. Take that out. Take the new brake pad that has the clip on it. It's going to go into the caliper, right into the piston. So line that up. Push it in. Take the outer pad, slide that in place. And we can slide the caliper right over. Now get the pins started. I'll torque these bolts to 20 foot-pounds. If you have the little caps, put those on. Take this bracket, get this lined up. And that's going to go underneath. Put the bolt in. And snug that down. That's good. Take the new sensor and line that up. Push that into the brake pad so it locks in place. And connect the connector. Line that up. Push that in so it locks in. That's good. Now I take the clip, slide this in position, same way we took it out. Just get it lined up. Get that clipped in. That's good. Now you can pump the brake pedal nice and slow. There's a little bit of an air gap in between the brake pads and the caliper piston. That's good. About 5 times will be good. Under the hood, on the driver's side, underneath this cover, you just twist these little twists and you can see where the brake fluid is. You want to check that level and adjust accordingly. Now take the wheel, line it up. Take the lug bolt, get that started. Snug that down and install the rest of them. Now we're going to torque the lug nuts to 95 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. Just go around again, double check.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.